Hi everyone, it's Anne here from annshappystampers.co.uk and welcome to number 7 of my Sale-A-Bration week. And it's the last one today, so I hope you've enjoyed it. I hope it's given you some inspiration, ideas, maybe even you'd like to order some of the products to enable you to get the qualify for the Sale-A-Bration items. So anyway, you may remember, I think the other week I did this card and it's been really popular. I've had loads of people send us pictures of theirs and I've seen a lot of people put them on Facebook and what have you. So I thought I could try and come up with something like this, but obviously different. So that's what I've been working on, and I'm going to show you how I made this. Now I think it's really fun, cute, and something, I hope a bit different. So I've used most of the Sale-A-Bration stuff, and a few of them aren't, but everyone's got bits in the stash. So this just comes off, and then this bit opens up to reveal Hooray, which is Sale-A-Bration, and then it opens up again and I've stamped the Hooray, and then it opens this way and it has a little sentiment and you can write your message in. So that's what I did, and I think it's really cute and it stands up no problem. So I'm going to show you how I did that. And you do need quite a lot of pieces for this, so I'm just going to put them on my blog, otherwise I'm going to be here all day reading measurements. If I'm not here all day trying to pick the card up, because I just can't seem to get a hold of it. There we go. Right, so I've got my little bits and pieces here, and what I'm using is reverse words. I'm using Hooray. I'm also using the layering squares, and it's the 2 largest squares in this stamp set, which I haven't used for a long time. And it does come with a punch. Well, you can get the punch, the bloom punch. So I'm going to be using the punch, and all I think I'm using out of here is the bloom stem. But if you don't have that, it's fine. You could draw it with a pencil or like a pen or something. And happy birthday. Yeah, that's all I'm using out of that. The brick wall embossing folder, and obviously the Sale-A-Bration Glimmer paper as well. So what I want to do first is I've got my 2 pieces of cardstock. This is going to be the outside of the card, this is going to be the inside, and I can tell you these 2 measure 5 by 10. Okay, and I need to score them both at 5 inches. So 5 and 5. Okay. So I'm gonna burnish them so that is the outside of our card. This bit is the inside, which gets stuck into here, so that's the bit that opens up. And I want to start with this bit first. So I've got the Hooray stamp mounted. I'm just going to get a bit of scrap, and I'm going to do this one in mint macaron and sweet sugar plum. The other one was done in Island Indigo and mint macaron. Okay, so what you're going to need for these is your little daubers, which these are fabulous, these little things. And I'm going to start with opening the inks up, and all I've done for this is, let's just start with mint macaron. So just load your little dauber up, and then I'm just going to dab this onto the top half of the stamp, and I'll do a couple to show you, and then I'll just do the rest off camera because I don't want it to take too long. So you just dab it all over where you want it to be, and then take the sweet sugar plum, and this is going to go on the bottom half, and I think it just gives a gorgeous effect, it really does. And you can do it with loads of different stamps. Let's make sure it's all covered. There we go. And make sure you've got your card the right way, and I'm just going to start here. There we go. Now, doesn't that look gorgeous? I think it looks so pretty. And I'll do one more. So we had mint macaron on the top, and sweet sugar plum on the bottom. There we go. And then I'm just kind of creating my own background really for it. So I'm going to pop, yeah, we'll pop one here. There we go, gorgeous. So I'm going to finish this off just randomly all over, and I'll be back when that's done. Okay everybody, I've stamped the rest of that, and I just think it looks gorgeous. It reminds me of, I don't know, like an ice lolly, I suppose, the colours. And what I've done is I've just put some double-sided tape on the back because I'm going to stick it into our card base. So this is going to open up like this, and this is going to get stuck in here so that it opens up this way. Okay, but actually before we do that, I've got some of the Sale-A-Bration paper, and it's cut, this is cut at 4 3/4 by 4 3/4. That's going to go in there. So I'm going to stick that down. Okay, and now we can pop this on the inside of our sweet sugar plum. So just take it right up to the top of the score line, I mean the underside of the score line, and then you can open it up and just press that down. So then you can close the card because you've just left that little bit of the score line there. And then if we open it up again, this time in this one I'm going to put happy birthday, and this is the one from the Balloon Celebration set, but you can, you know, you can use whatever you've got, and I'm going to do that one in sweet sugar plum. So I'm just going to stamp this in the middle. Like so. And that's that bit done. So then what I've also got is a piece of Whisper White, which is cut at 4.5 by 4.5, and I'm going to run this bit through the brick wall embossing folder. So I'm just going to get that in there where I want it, bring in the big shot here. And we'll just run this through. And there we go. I love that embossing folder. Let's get that out of the way. And this bit is going to go on the outside of here. So I think to stick that, I'm going to use some Tombow. Okay, so that's just going to go on the outside. Like so. And then we also need a piece which is 5 by 5 and it's scored at 3 inches. And this is the piece that's going to go over the top of our card like this. And I've got a piece of the DSP which is cut at 4 3/4 by 2 3/4, and that's going to go on there. Oops. Just get this relatively even. And then we need to pop some adhesive on here so we can attach it to the back of our card, but I'm going to use tape for that. I'm just going to put 2 pieces on. That should be enough. Okay, and then what I do is just pop this on at the front there, you know, roughly where you think it's going to be, and then just hold that like that, and then just press that down, and then you can just run that over the back, and there we go, it's coming together. And then what I've done is, out of the 2 biggest layering squares, I've cut 2 scallop ones, one from mint macaron, one from sweet sugar plum, and I've cut 2 Whisper White. So I think on the front I'm going to have the sweet sugar plum, and then on the inside I'm going to have the mint macaron. So what I'm going to do first of all is take some glimmer paper. I've got mint macaron and sweet sugar plum, and I'm going to take the balloon bouquet punch, and I'm going to cut out 2 in the large balloon. Okay, 2 in the mint macaron, I mean, of the large balloon. And I'm going to cut 1 large one from the sweet sugar plum. Well, let's see if I can. Should be it. There we go. Gorgeous. Love this glimmer paper. And what I did was I'm going to have 2 mint macaron at the side, just something like that, and then a sweet sugar plum one in the middle. And then you could just draw these with a pen if you wanted to, one of your Stampin' Right markers, but I've got this little stem from the balloon Sale-A-Bration, and with some sweet sugar plum I'm going to stamp the little stems on, and I only want to ink up a little bit of it, probably just halfway. And then I started off by stamping roughly 1 in the middle, like so, and then I just basically winged it, I suppose. I think that'll do. They don't have to be perfect. And then I just stuck those on with Tombow. So I want 1 there. And 1 about here. That's perfect. And 1 about there. Just hold this one down for a little bit because it's sticking onto a bit of the glimmer paper. That should be okay. I think that looks really, really pretty. I really do. And then that is going to get stuck onto the sweet sugar plum square. So I'm just going to put some Tombow on the back of here. And just attach this to the square. Like so. And then the other one, take the Whisper White, and then using the Hooray stamp again, I'm just going to stamp this in mint macaron. So just ink this up. And then it will pop over the sides a little bit, but that's okay. There we go. Oh, really juicy ink pad that. Never mind, it'll be okay. And then that one is going to get stuck onto the mint macaron like so. There we go. Now what we need to do is this is going to get stuck onto here, so we need some dimensionals just along the top here. So I think I put about 3 on, like that. Just position this in the right place. You want it even in the middle. Whoops. Get it straight as you can. That looks about right. So that's there. And then obviously when we open this up, we want this to be in the same place. So we're going to just stick this down flat. Okay, so I think if I can just kind of get that roughly there. Oops, that didn't work, did it? Don't stick. Try that again. Just straighten that up a little bit. Hopefully it will be not too far off yet. That's pretty good to me. Just press that down. And basically that is our card. So we have this bit here that opens up, and then this opens up like that. So I'm just going to get some of the ribbon, Sale-A-Bration ribbon. I haven't got any of the silver left, so we'll have to use the gold. But I think that looks pretty. Just cut some of this off. And we'll tie this in a bow, and then I'm just going to put a couple of little enamel shapes on, and then we're done. And like I said before, I just think it's a really fun, sweet little card. I really do. You can make it for all sorts of occasions as well. I'll just position that, and we'll adjust the bow a bit. There we go, and then we can just trim the ends a little bit. And I've got some of the In Colours enamel shapes, and I'm going to put 2 little sweet sugar plum ones here, I think, like I did last time. There we go. And I think that looks so cute, I really do. So I hope you like this one just as much as the other one I made. I hope you'll have a go. They're really fun to make, and I just think they're fantastic. And you know, you can decorate them any way you like. You don't have to do them the way I've done them, but I love this technique with the sponge daubers, I really do. I think I'll be trying this on a lot of things. So there we go, and that's the end of Sale-A-Bration week. So I hope you've enjoyed it, and I'll be back again next week with some more tutorials. So until then, take care and bye for now.